This is Titanfall 2 running on a Intel Core i7-2600 with 16 gigs of RAM and a NVIDIA Quadro K2000 video card. Most of these parts should be familiar, but for those who aren't familiar with the Quadro cards, this particular Quadro card is effectively the exact same part as a GTX 650. Performance is going to be about the same. Visually, the card is very similar. And I'm finding that this is pretty much on par with my typical... typically, I do these builds with a GTX 480, but I'm finding that these Quadro K2000s are pretty similar performance-wise. There's some things that the 480 is going to do just a little bit better, and there's some things... So this card has 2 gigs of video RAM, which for some games will make a difference. There's a small difference in the performance level of the card itself as far as pure raw performance, but the K2000 makes up for it in some cases with the extra graphics RAM. And this is running at low settings, even with the recording software running. I'm still hitting a solid 30 plus frames a second, which, again, it's, as I always say, it's not going to impress everybody, but it's enough for a smooth, enjoyable game experience. You could certainly turn down either the resolution or the settings further to get more performance, but I find that in this case, this system is hitting a proper balance of performance and frame rate or visual, so there isn't really any reason to mess with it. It's perfectly fine as it sits. that should be enough to give a decent idea of how this particular game runs on this type of hardware. As usual, I hope everybody liked the video and found it informative.